I asked you if you could tell me anything about this long-rumoured, rebooted Shrek franchise, how this movie would fit in, perhaps what would come in the future. You, of course, told me you didn't know anything about it.
I told you nothing.
You told me absolutely nothing, and I'm sure you can still tell me absolutely nothing.
Lives flashing before your eyes.
Pray for mercy from Puss in Boots.
Hi Joel, absolute pleasure to speak with you.
Well, you too. Nice to see you, Dave.
We spoke back at the trailer launch for this one about 8 months ago, so it's lovely to come back and speak to you at the sort of the end of the project here.
You're right, that was the teaser trailer, so a lot's happened since then.
We spoke about this briefly back then, but this is not your first time in the Shrek universe. You worked as a story artist on Shrek Forever After. Would you have ever imagined that you'd be here helming an entry in this franchise?
Short answer is no. I mean, I'm so grateful. It's amazing that the studio trusted me to be part of the team that brought this back, that continues the next chapter of Puss in Boots. It's been really exciting, and in a way, since it's been so long since the last movie of Puss in Boots, it's really allowed us to bring back what everybody loves about Puss in Boots and that world, but also expand it, visually, tonally, and I think breaking new ground with the characters themselves in terms of depth. And so it's kind of freeing in a way to go, we can bring back everything, but let's surprise the audience by going to some new territory.
Yeah, I should say, I was going to say at the top, but the movie is great. I saw it last weekend and I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. And
Thank
again,
you.
I'm sure, absolute pleasure. I honestly loved it, truly loved it. I did speak to you about this last time, but now that we've seen this whole process through from beginning to end now, what has the experience been like with this film? And also given that this is your second feature as a director.
Each story is unique, and because of sometimes the ingredients in the story, and also the crew that makes it. And that's what's actually really special about it. It's its own experience, and it's been a wonderful one. I think because as a crew, of over 400 people working on this movie, everybody's had to dig really deep to find the expression of things. I'll go to this movie having this painterly look. Even when you decide that's where the story, that's how we're gonna execute this, you still have to continually figure that out on scenes. And it was so fun to be in the theater at DreamWorks when we'd be watching, we'd go in the theater and there'd be an image up there and we'd go, oh, this is beautiful, who painted this image? And they're like, no, they push play and that's a scene, that's in lighting. It was that thing, almost like a snowball effect where everybody was getting so excited about all the things I'd mentioned, where we could go to new territory and what a lit scene looks like. Or on the story side, the head of story, Heidi Jo Gilbert, worked with the co-director and I, Daniel Mercado, that to really go, how can we track Puss in Boots and Kitty Softpaws and Perrito, and really go to some new depths, with these characters. And so it's just been a great discovery.
I was actually going to mention that visual style. It is stunning. It utilizes this. I mean, we've seen a lot of this hybrid sort of CG, sort of traditional thing recently, but I also feel like this feels very fresh and very new, particularly some of the scenes towards the end of the film with the wish star. Not going to, spoil anything, but that whole sequence is incredible. Talk me through the idea, how you came to develop the style, the artistic style behind this film, and sort of how much fun was it to kind of utilize this?
I'm grateful. Our production designer, Nate Ragg, was really the one who was spearheading this artistic style. So we got to just kind of geek out about things he would show us that we'd go, oh, that looks amazing. But it really was kind of a wedge test of figuring out how painterly and how you have the spectrum of on the other end, it's very real, CG. And we had to find that right balance, because on one hand, when we got too flat and painterly, you flattened out the whole movie, and it actually you lost the nuance of Puss in Boots. You lost that you could reach out and touch him, and he's got this giant ego, but he's this little cat, and we wanted to maintain that. And then on the other side, like when it gets too real looking, it was just, there was nothing unique about it. And so that was a great experience finding that right kind of perfect area.
Yeah. Now, back when the trailer came out, I asked you if you could tell me anything about this long-rumored, rebooted Shrek franchise, how this movie would fit in, perhaps what would come in the future. You, of course, told me you didn't know anything about it.
I told you nothing.
You told me absolutely nothing, and I'm sure you can still tell me absolutely nothing. But now that the movie has come out, we can talk about how clearly this movie is tied in with the franchise and how blatantly it kind of points towards a future adventures with Shrek and perhaps the Puss in Boots crew. What can you tell me now about perhaps a potential future of the franchise, or I guess how much fun it was to place this squarely within the whole Shrek franchise? What's come before, perhaps what's going to come in the future?
Yeah, I think I don't know the full future of the Shrek franchise, but I think what I could tell you is what's been really cool and rewarding on this is to feel the world's excitement that the Shrek franchise has been, reintroduced through Puss in Boots. And we were at preview screenings where we would test the movie and just to have the audience react to Puss in Boots being back on screen and cheering. And then when there are some little, Shrek character cameos, the fairy tale characters, that, there's enthusiasm. And so, for me, I think what's been an awesome journey on this is to find not just a way to bring back Puss in Boots in the Shrek world, but to add some surprise to it. There's some, the range of tone of what is in this world has been expanded. And so I think it really opens up the future for many, many cool opportunities in the Shrek world.
Yes, I'm very excited about it. And look, you've done it so well. You've reintroduced this franchise beautifully. But not only that, it's a terrific standalone movie, and I really loved it. Thank you again for your time. Our time is up now, but all the best with the movie, and appreciate it again. Take care.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm Puss's therapy dog.
Definitely not.
Finally, you need therapy.